family really did not try to break the socialization cycle. They tried to hold on to it as best they could. But I think the 60s and youth culture got the best of them. But then again, most of my identity was dominant and still is. I come from 3 generations born and raised in between the Mississippi River and Lake Pontchartrain, with one exception. I am the granddaughter of Gustave Rivas from Cuba. Other than that, my ancestors were French, German, and Irish. Most of my traditions and culture come from Irish Catholic New Orleans. I am considered white on most checklists. My family, when I was younger, moved out of the inner city because of white flight and desegregation. My parents were going to send all 7 of us to a Catholic school, but the idea of not with the blacks was really unspoken. Deception started early in my social identity. My socioeconomic status has not always been middle class, but as a child, and knowing what I know now, we lived in a middle class lifestyle. Dad worked the same job in the city for 35 years, and Mom was almost always shackled to the sewing machine, with her mind on paying Catholic school tuition. And almost effortlessly, I became a mom and got married, and that, of course, lowered my socioeconomic income and my class for many years. Food stamps, AA, and Pell Grants allowed me to get out of that lower socioeconomic bracket, but only a small amount, because when I went to college, I became a teacher. Sexual orientation? Well, everybody's doing it. I'm pretty sure my first love, was lust and good sex. I firmly believe you can't help who you were attracted to. I am attracted to the opposite sex. And like in a Lego analogy, which piece you're attracted to really does not matter to me. Here's the actual church and pews that I spent a good bit of time in, mostly practicing being children should be seen and not heard. Those pews were a place of contemplation, and I remember thinking as young as 4 years old that religion was for everyone else. Don't get me wrong, I love the community and the traditions and the pomp and circumstance, but really what I learned was how to behave. I learned a great respect for others' ideas and beliefs, and to honor what my parents wanted. But I don't think anyone honored what I thought. Kind of sad to think that I have no exceptionality, but in this term it is a wondrous world filled with all kinds of people with all kinds of stories, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And you never know when something might change. Disability comes in all kinds of forms. I have attempted to learn Spanish several times. The nuns would teach us the words when I was in elementary, but none would stick. And you never know, something might change on that front as well. Gender. I think I've saved that for the last because I'm not sure how the biology of me would make my identity anything but who I am now. I always wanted to be a boy when I was little, though. I identify with my dad more, but I think that was because he always took us to the zoo and the museums and parades and on occasion swimming in the lake. I think that as a female, my mom and dad just saw me as having a future with motherhood. There was never any talk of going to college or a career. I do remember all I wanted to do was have my own family. I did not plan it, but by the time I was 22, I had 3 children. I have to add, I do not think I would change a thing even though I was just a kid myself, wanting to be accepted and loved. Being female is really the only subordinate identity that I have.